density uh, was known, and you need to estimate, and you had to estimate the parameters. Okay, and then we used maximum likelihood estimation and Bayesian estimation for uh, density. I mean estimation. I mean this for parameter estimation of the density function. So it was given. Okay. So now actually today I wanted to teach you this non-parametric method, non-parametric estimation. So non-parametric in the non-parametric estimation, it means that you do not know, you do not assuming that any parametric form for the density. Okay, so now then how do you estimate this density function? So there are different methods like this Poisson window and this k-nearest neighbor estimation rule, and also histogram method. So, but I was about to start these things, but before that I was thinking that in the next lab, I mean in day after tomorrow lab, we have to implement a real life problem, that is a how you could implement Bayes decision rule on satellite image. So that is why I just wanted to take this lecture today. So now next class I will start this density estimation. So now one concept for understanding this Bayes decision rule is that I mean you can apply the Bayes decision rule, and then one part is called the parameter estimation, provided density function is known. Another is that non-parametric estimation, that you do not know the density function, but you need to approximate it. So that is another part. Okay. So now please look at this implementation steps. That is that you have to implement it in next lab. So that is why I just wanted to discuss it. So how you could implement Bayes decision rule. So what is Bayes decision rule? The capital Pi, small pi is equal to capital Pj, small pj. While capital P denoted by it denotes prior probability, and small p denotes this density function, or you can say class conditional probability density function. Okay. So now the concept is that, so you are given with 4 satellite images of city Kolkata. Okay. So now you know these satellite images. So that image that will have a certain size of the image, and like this m cross n image. Actually, this is an image. It is a 2-dimensional matrix. Okay, image is, it is a 2-dimensional matrix, and you will have this the dimension of the matrix is, it is x cross y. Then you have I mean the size of the matrix is x cross y, and you need to fill out some location, pixel intensity location. Okay, because if your size is suppose 512 cross 512, if your image size is, it means that this image will contain the intensity values of total 512 into 512. It means that you have a grid, okay, rectangular grid, or it is a two dimensions where each cell it is a location. It is starting from this I comma j, where I is from 1 to 512, j is from 1 to 512. Now this, for each I and j location, you will put some values, and these values are called intensity values. Okay, so now intensity values that you, it depends that the intensity values is depends that based on that how you are going to capture these images, and based on each your camera apertures. Okay, in cameras intrinsic and extrinsic parameter, background lighting conditions, whether the object is moving or not, whether any stationary and non-stationary objects present, and what are the structure of the scene from where you are going to capture the data. So based on this thing, the intensity values that you can have. So now what is your job here? So the problem is called a 2-class classification problem. Okay. So now you have a four satellite images of Kolkata, that is urban, river, I mean urban is red band, G band means green band, B band means blue band, I band means infrared bands. So this will be given to you with, and each image size is equal, that is 512 cross 512. Okay. So it is a four satellite images will be given to you, and each image size is 512 into 512, and the dimension of the feature vector is 4. Okay, you have the 4-dimensional feature vector. Now each pixel location will have 4 values. Okay, as the dimension of the feature vector is 4, it means that whenever you are going to fetch the information from the ith location and jth location, and for each and this feature vector for each pixel locations, you have 4 values. It means that whenever you are going to run the code, suppose the image, as the image size is equal, and you have to run from I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512, then I comma j, for each I comma j, suppose if you have 1 1, okay, first location, then first location for each 4 images, as image size is equal, then you have 4 different values. The first value corresponds to R band, second value corresponds to G band, third value corresponds to B band, and fourth value corresponds to I band. So this is the dimension of the feature vector, and each pixel location you have 4 values. Now you are given with 2 class. Okay, you are given with 2 class. It is a 2-class classification problem. One is called the river class, another is called the non-river class. Okay, from the satellite image, you have to classify the satellite images into 2 class. One is called the river class, another is called the non-river class. Now, how do you do it? Now you have to take 50 sample points. This is a, you have to take 50 sample points from river class for training of each band. Okay, you have to take 50 sample points, or you could take actually it isn't for example, so you could take more sample points. It is not necessarily always fixed that you need to take only 50. You may take 60, you may take 80, you may take 100. So now you have to take 50 sample points. So whenever I'm telling you points, it means that this is an observation. Okay, it means the pixel locations. So samples points means 50 samples points means each sample point will have 4 different values, because samples points means you are going to capture the pixel locations. Okay, so you have to choose pixel location in such a way so that this entire region will be covered. That I'll explain. So this is called the, and this 50 sample points means it is not the intensity values. You will have to store the 50 pixel location I comma j. Okay, ith position and the jth position. If you start from the I comma j, I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512. Each the size of the image is 512 into 512. Then so you have to choose randomly 50 samples point and 50 pixel in location. Okay, or the position from the river class for training of each band. Similarly, you could take 100 sample points, that is also pixel locations, from non-river class for training of each band. Okay, so now whenever you are going to test it, now you have to test for each band. Okay, now instead of, so this from the image you have 512 to 512. Now you have to train your classifier using the 50 sample points for one class and 100 samples point for the another class. Now you have to test the entire images, and you have to, if your classifier is properly trained, then whenever you are going to test it, then you have to check each and every point, and you have to take a decision whether this point belongs to either in river class or it is in the non-river class. Then you have to apply Bayes decisions rule to classify all the test sample either belong to in river class or in non-river class. So now if each pixel, I mean you have to test it by applying the Bayes decision rule. What is the formula for the Bayes decision rule? capital Pi small pi is greater than is equal to capital Pj small pj. Okay, now so you will be providing with that capital Pi will be given to you. Prior probability will be given to you. Small pi will also given to you. Small pi, it is a class conditional probability density function. It is also given to you. And for the present moment, you can assume that this small pi it is a multivariate Gaussian. You have this multivariate Gaussian. And whenever you are going to apply it on the test data set, that if any points, or if any pixel intensity value, if it belongs to the river class, then it is marked as a 0. If it is a non-river class, then it is a 255. So means 0 means completely black. Now those pixel intensity values which belongs to the river class, okay, or you can say in the non-river class, it is 0, and if it is a river class, it is 255. I mean, so we are going to have the 8-bit images. Now the images that you are going to have, it is an 8-bit images. Now if you have 8-bit images, now total the variation of the intensity variation will be maximum 2 to the power 8, now 256, 0 to 255. So these are the intensity level. Okay, so those here, if you had image processing subject, then I think you must have understood. Okay, so now if you have 8-bit images, now 8-bit images, the intensity range of the intensity values will be 2 to the power 8, means 0 to 255. Now you have to show the result from the black and white images. So that is your assignment. Okay, so now how many things are going to give it to you? First things that 4 input images will be given to you: R band image, G band image, B band image, and I band image. Okay, for each band there is a variation of intensity values, not this, I mean, pixel locations. Pixel location are, I mean, you have to just run a loop to identify or to detect this pixel location. But main thing is the intensity value. There is a variation of intensity values. So that's why it is called the R band, G band, B band, and I band. Okay, now how do you choose the sample points? That is the main job. How do you choose these sample points? Okay, so now sample point means you have to take the x coordinate and you have to choose the y coordinate. So is the image is visible at your end?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now actually I have contrasted it because yeah, in general, original you will not get this image. You will get these slightly different images that I'll just give it to you. So this high, it is just for the sake of illustration that I have enhanced it. This is a contrast enhancement has been done so that you could visualize it. So can you just see? So there is a river portion is going on. So it is called the Hooghly River in Kolkata. So from the satellite, from the satellite, so they have taken from this image. So it is a from the Hooghly River. This is a black that is called. So this is a Hooghly River, and on the bank of the Hooghly River, if you see, so there are different land areas there, land covered area. Okay. Okay. Now what you have to do? You have to choose for the training purposes. You have to choose x coordinate and the y coordinate from the river class. Okay, and means how many points for training? 50 sample points. Now you have to take 50 sample points from the river class and 100 sample points from the non-river class. Now how do you choose it? Suppose as I am showing it from the MATLAB, you could use this Python also. In the MATLAB, so there is a command is called the IMShow. So if you IMShow, then you just pass any one of the images. So out of the 4 images, you take any one of the images for taking this random variable for taking the sample points. Sample point is it is an x coordinate and y coordinate. That's it. Okay, not the values. Only you have to check x coordinate or y coordinate. How do you do it? So in MATLAB, so there is a function is called the IM tool. Okay, now you take this IM tool, okay, and you just place your cursor
I mean in the river position. So now as you are saying in your naked eye, so this is your river area. So where I am just changing my cursor. Okay. So now this is your river area. Okay. So now here you just place, you need to gather or you need to acquire the 50 sample points. Now I am just placing the cursor here. Now whenever you are going to placing the cursor here, you will have that pixel info that at the bottom line you could say there is a pixel info 196,8. So these are the pixel info, means x coordinate position and the y coordinate position. You just store it in an array. Okay, so that's why as you can see in the following, x coordinate river, y coordinate river. So 154.19. So it is for this first location, 164.26, 160.37. So that I have chosen it, okay, in a random way. So now, but please keep it in mind, whenever you are going to choose the sample points, you will have to choose the sample points in such a way so that all the region will be covered. So please understand, all the region will be covered. So suppose if you choose the sample points in the middle, only this, if you just intuitively think of it, you take the middle part. Okay, so middle will be somewhat like that. Now, so some of your friend or you would like to take the sample points just above the middle part. You are not considering this sample points in the these things. Now, whenever you are going to apply the Bayes decisions rule, now sometimes you have to compute this mean. So now the mean, if you take the sample point just above the middle point or the middle one, then your mean will be somewhat like that. But originally, from the entire river region, if you consider your mean will be something like that. Then you'll, now there will be some difference of the deviation of the mean. Okay, so now this taking now, so that is the main reason that you will have to choose the sample points in such a way so that the overall variability should be considered. The overall variability of the data points of the training sample points should be considered. So that is the main concept. Are you understanding that why I am that going to choose the sample points in the entire region? Okay, so this is the main reason that you have to choose the sample points or from the entire region, not from a portion of the region. If you choose the sample points from a particular portion of the region, then your calculation of the mean, so actual mean, that this will be different than this calculated mean. Then you will have the error. Okay, you will have the error and you will not get the actual output. So that please remember that whenever you are going to choose these things, that this you will have to choose the sample points so that this entire area will be covered. So this is called x coordinate river and y coordinate river. You have to choose either Python or this MATLAB to choose these sample points initially. This IM tool is there. You just put the cursor in a particular positions. Okay, then you just store it. So these things that has to be done by manually. 50 sample points for river class and non-river class. Now in the non-river class also you take any points. Okay, from here you just place the cursor, then you will have the pixel information, then you just store it. So this is the way. So this is the way that you can choose these sample points. So but you can also think of it, how do you automate it. Now if you could just use your own intuition, own thinking, that instead of taking these sample points manually, so you could automate it so that in such a way so that I could choose 50 sample points from the river position and 100 sample points from the non-river region. That is also, I mean, you'll have to think of it, how do you do it. Are you understanding that how you are going to choose the sample point? So this is the main thing. So choosing the sample points means training sample points means that you know the class level, because you know the class level for these sample points. As you are going to apply this supervised classification techniques, so Bayes decisions rule that we are going to use it. It is a supervised classification. Then you know the class level for the sample points for river class, and you know the class level for the sample points for the non-river class. Is that okay, or do you have any doubt?
Hello.
Yes.
You have given us 4 images, sir. Then do we need to select 50 or 100 sample points for each river and non-river class for those 4 images?
Not 4 images. Okay, so that's why, because as you know now, so the size of the images is same. Each image is 512 into 512. So you take any one of the images for choosing the sample points. Either you can take R band images, either you can take G band images, either you can take B band images. You take any one of the images, because as the size of the image is same, okay, then this coordinate positions will also be same, because each will running from about, if you take a loop or make a loop from I is equal to 1 to 512, because to counting the how many number of rows, and for j is equal to 1 to 512 for how many number of columns. But the row and column are same for both the images. I mean all the images, but the intensity values are different, because in the x coordinate, if you see the first coordinate, okay, or the first location of the river, 154 and 19, so it is an I comma j. So 50 sample points that you have captured. Now for each point you will get the 4 different values. The intensity values are different, because this in the 514,19, it is a rectangular grid. So in this, for the, if you just calculate it, because this 154 and 19, so this location corresponds to R band image, this location corresponds to B band image, this location corresponds to G band image, and this location corresponds to I band image. So now, if you would like to fetch the what intensity values are there in this particular positions, you can easily get it. Are you understanding me? Because for each position you will have 4 different values. So that's why it is called the 4-dimensional feature vector. If your image size is different, then I cannot do it. As I am assuming to show you in a very simplest way for understanding or for implementing it in a real life problem. Okay, so that I am assuming that my image size is set 512 into 512. Okay, because reasons there's a because if you take it as a matrix, this is square matrix. This is a square matrix. Is that clear? Similarly, yes, similarly for the non-river region also, if you take the 25, 29, this is a pixel coordinate position. For each location, you'll also get the 4 different values, because you have this land covered area for the urban image, land covered area, or you can say the non-river area for the B band, for R band, for I band. So it is also a 4-dimensional feature vector. So now if you take it, if you just store this means what will be the total dimension of the feature vector for the river class? Can anyone tell me this? What will be the total dimension of the feature vector for the river class and total dimension of the feature vector for the non-river class? Or you can see the size of the feature vector. What is the size of the feature vector for river class, and what is the size of the
cross 1?
50 into 4.
50 into 4.
50 into 4.
Very good. Very, very good. So now for the size of the feature vector for river class is 50 cross 4, and size of the feature vector for the non-river class is 100 cross 4. So this is your first step that you have to do. This is your first step that you have to do. Firstly, you'll have to acquire it. I mean, coordinate position. Then you'll have to just do it. Next step, you have to apply the base decisions rule. Now you have M class. Now in your case, you have two class. River class and non-river class. Class conditional probability density function is given to you. That is capital P1x. X is a vector. Capital P2x. X is a vector. Then X is a, I mean, it is in Rn. Now prior probability will also be given to you. P1, capital P2, capital Pm, where capital Pi is in the range of 0 to 1 for all I is equal to 1 to m, and summation of and all means also the sum of all the probabilities for all the classes is 1. Now you put X in class I. Now you'll have to test it from entire images. Okay, so you have only chosen a small part of the samples, but you have to test for each and every pixel intensity position, whether it is belongs to the which class. So that's why you put X in ith class. So, or you can say if you put X in river class, you can take I is a river class and J is a non-river class. Now Pi, capital Pi, small pi X is greater than or equal to capital P, small p J X. For all J is not is equal to 1. Then it can be used as the base decision rule if you minimize this probability of misclassification that I already explained. Okay. Now how do you do it? So now this type of images will be given to you. Actually, it is a contrast enhancement image, so you will not get this image. You will get some kind of I mean, it will be very identified, distinguished through the naked eye until and unless you have these intensity values. So I've so that in order to just show you, so I have enhanced it. So this is called the contrast enhanced images. So example on satellite images of Kolkata, given input image. So this is a R-band image. Okay, as you can see, it is a Hooghly River and these are the land cover area. It is a G-band image. It is a B-band image, RGB, and it is an I-band image. It is an infrared band. Now what you have to do? After implementing base decisions rule, you have to find output image, river class and non-river class. Now this, if you have to test with each and every pixel and apply the base decisions rule, and we just put X in ith class or river class if the condition is satisfied. Now this river class is being denoted by 0 as you are doing image processing and the output must be shown through the image. So now these images that you are going to, after classification, that whatever values that you are going to get, you'll have to have in the range of 0 and 255. So 0 means it is completely dark and 255 means it is white. So now non-river class is denoted by 0. You could have the vice versa. So there is no problem. You could have taken, instead of taking the river class is 255, you could have taken this 0 also. No problem. Okay, it is just for the, I'm just giving some color image. I mean, this is a black and white image, some image with this intensity value is 0, intensity value is 255. That's it. Now you will have 3 different cases. You need to show the output in lab for 3 different cases. Capital P1 is equal to 0.3. It means that this is a prior probability for class 1. Class 1 means river class. And capital P2 for non-river class, it is 0.7. Now if you just sum them up, you will get 1. We have summation of I is equal to 1 to M, or I is equal to 1 to C. PC is equal to 1. Okay, so P1 is equal to 0.3, P2 is equal to 0.6. Now for this another case, you could take P1 is equal to 0.7, P2 is equal to 0.3. So you know, so there is some dot pixels are there, some misclassification error obviously will attract, because misclassification error that will occur only because of the 2 cases based on this prior probability. Okay, another is that how you are going to choose the training sample points. If you are choosing the training sample points in such a way so that this overall variability is being maintained,
then it's fine. So you will not attract much more misclassification error. Okay, so obviously whenever you are going to do classification, you will attract the misclassification. But that you will have to just implement it to test whether you have just I mean this base decision rules is digested or not. So now how do you implement it? So these are the steps. Steps are written. Okay. First step, implementation process of density function. So how do you implement process of density function? Now step 1, you have to calculate mean. So I hope that everyone knows the formula for multivariate Gaussian distribution. 1 by root over 2 pi to the power m, determinant of sigma to the power half, exp of minus half, x minus mu transpose sigma inverse x minus mu. So I hope all of you know the formula of the multivariate Gaussian. Okay. So now calculate, first you'll have to calculate mean. So mean is not a single point, it is a vector. Okay. So mean of river class. So now we have taken just mean is being denoted by that, it is a mean of the river class. So I am denoting it as by T1. So now mean 1, mean 2, mean 3, mean 4. It is just for the understanding. Okay, it may not be true that I mean in the implementation step also you should follow these things. It may not be true. So you first understand it. So how I mean you are going to solve this problem. Okay, and this dimensionality matching is very important. So now for mean 1, I mean first component in your mean vector. So T1 is your mean vector. Okay, for the river class. So you have the 4 components: mean 1, mean 2, mean 3. Actually, mean is a column vector, but we have written it is as a row vector. So now you have mean 1, mean of R-band images of 50 sample points. Mean 2, mean of G-band images of 50 sample points. Mean 3, mean of B-band images for 50 sample points. Mean 4, I-band images for 50 sample points. Because you have already told me that the size of the feature vector is 50 cross 4 for river class, and for the non-river class it is 100 cross 4. So now you have to do the column wise mean. You have to do the column wise mean. Is it clear? Step number 1 and step number 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, no? You have to do the column wise mean. You have to make it just loop I is equal to 1 to 50, then I is equal to 1 to 50 xi 1 by n I is equal to 1 to 50. So it is called this mean 1, mean 2, mean 3, and mean 4. Similarly for the non-river class. Step number 3, you have to calculate this covariance matrix, because as you can see, there is a determinant of sigma to the power half and there is a sigma inverse. So now there is a calculate this covariance matrix for river class of 50 samples. Okay, now obviously the size of the covariance matrix will be 4 cross 4. Okay, because the size of the covariance matrix will depend on the dimension of the feature vector. So now as the feature vector is 4, then obviously you will have the 4 cross 4. Now basically what we are going to do, you know the formula of the covariance matrix, that x minus mu into y minus mu, that you have already seen. Now basically you know the meaning of the variance and covariance, that we have taken an example in the first, that height and weight of a person, that how you are going to do it, and we have and I already demonstrated with some different figures. Okay, so now basically x minus t1 deviation and y minus t1 deviation, you have just multiplied and summing up where x and y represent all the sample points considering for training. Then you will get how many elements? 2 to the power 4, total 16 values in the covariance matrix. Okay, for each possible combination of the 4 band images. Okay, now you have to apply this
covariance matrix calculation formula. Now we are doing the deviation of sample points from the mean vector. That is the things we are going to doing. Actually, we are doing this deviation of this sample points from this mean vector. Now the size of the 4 cross 4 means total 16 values of the there in the covariance matrix for the river class. Similarly, for this, calculate this covariance matrix for the non-river class for 100 samples. That will be also be 4 cross 4, and you have to apply the same process in step 3. Now next, what you have to do? You have to take these entire images, test images. Now your test images.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you please explain step number 3? Covariance one.
It is a means covariance matrix formula. How do you find this covariance matrix?
Sir, in this, what is capital X and capital Y? That much I don't get.
Capital X is the 50 sample points, na? All the sample points.
Okay.
Yeah, लिखा है ना 50 sample points. We just take the deviation from mean. That's it, and just multiply it. You just try to conceptualize this graph. That we had to have 3 different graphs. Okay, that positive sample dominates the negative one, negative sample dominates the positive one, and the equally distributed. Okay, how we are just shifting the axis now from the origin to some mean. So from the mean, how it is being deviated, then you just multiply it. If you have these two variables, okay, now you have total because you have to take the covariance for each and every band. So now, if you have this COV of n cross n, okay, then COV of x1 comma x2, or you can have COV x1. Suppose if you have 4 cross 4, it means that you have COV of R band, COV of R band G band, COV of R band B band, COV of R band I band. Next, COV of क्या होगा? B band R band, then B band B band. Okay, ठीक है? Or first these are the you have four dimensional images for four band. R band means red band, G band for green band, B band for blue band, I band for infrared band. Now you have this total 4 2 to the power 4 total 16 values will be there, and all the diagonal values is called the variances. Now these how many variances you will get? 4 variances. Okay, means 4 variances is COV of x minus t1 into x minus t1. It is for this G first band, G band. Then R band, COV of that is B comma B, blue, red, green, infrared. Okay, and it is also symmetric matrix because COV of 1, 2 is equal to COV of 2, 1. Okay, so this is simple formula that we have already done. Next is you have to test it. Okay, how do you test it? Now you have to take these entire images for test data. Now test data, it is from I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512. Now for, as I already told you, you have to test for each and every pixel intensity values, pixel intensity position. Okay, so R band image I comma j, G band image I comma j, B band and I band. Now the dimension of the test data is 4 cross 512 into 512. Now for each pixel location of test image, you have to run the loop from I is equal to 1 to 512 into 512 because that many pixel locations are there. And next is you have to do these next steps. That is the most important step. For the river class, now you are going to compute this density function. Now for the river class, you have to calculate what you have to going to calculate 1 by root over 2 pi to the power m determinant of sigma to the power half, because you need to compute this these things, that is river class. For the river class you have to compute this test data minus T1 deviation and test data minus T1 transpose deviation, then multiply. Okay, you just see the see the formula for within the exponential term. What was it? Exp of minus half x minus mu transpose. Okay, covariance matrix inverse or sigma inverse into x minus mu. Now here also you can have, that is a test data minus T1 into inverse of covariance matrix river class and test data minus T1. So this is for the river class. Now for the non-river class, you have to calculate the same things. You need to know the how much deviation is there of test data minus T1 deviation and test data minus T transpose. Then multiply it. So now for the river class and for the non-river class, you have computed. Next, you calculate the density function P1 for river class, where capital P1 is equal to 0.3 and capital P2 is equal to 0.3. Now, what is the formula? P1 is equal to like minus 0.5 into 1 by square root of determinant of covariance matrix for the river class. Okay, because 1 by root over 2 pi to the power half, it will be cancelled out. Okay, and then these things into exp of river class. Okay, actually you just simply apply this multivariate question. You are going to just apply this multivariate Gaussian 1 by root over 2 by to the power m, so it will be cancelled out for both the sides because it is a constant. Determinant of sigma to the power half. Okay, so now 1 by square root of determinant of covariance of non-river class into exp of these things. Now for each pixel locations you apply the base rule, capital P1 small p1 is greater than or equal to capital P2 into small p2. Then output image is equal to I, because you have that 512 into 512 total. Okay, so now that many pixels intensity values that you will have for each locations, because you'll have to take a look from I is equal to 1 to 512 and J is equal to 1 to 512. So now output image is equal to I is equal to 255 for river class, else output image I is equal to 0 for non-river class. Now again you go to step 7. Okay, so this is a loop from I is equal to 1 to 512 to 512. So this loop that you need to compute. Okay, for each test sample points you need to compute this entire process till this matrix is exhausted, and finally you need to show the output. Okay, 3 output image using IMShow function, or if you use the Python, so there will be some other function you'll have to see for 3 cases. So river class, prior probability 0.3, non-river class 0.7, then this 0.7, 0.3, 0.5 into 0.5. Then actually these are the formula that you have to implement it. Okay, 1 by root over 2 pi to the power m exp of minus half x minus mu. Okay, determinant of sigma. Actually this 0.5 that should be within these things. So there is a mistake that I have done. This minus 0.5 will be exp of minus half. Okay, so that whenever you are going to implement it, so now you have to just check. It should be exp of minus half. This minus half will be within these things. Okay, so it is a non-singular matrix, because if your variance covariance matrix is a singular matrix, then you cannot compute this inverse. So now because if you just write a code for computing the inverse, so it will be difficult for you. So you can use the inbuilt function also, because here, as you can see, na, inverse of covariance matrix Riemann class, because this covariance matrix for the Riemann class is 4 cross 4, and if you use this inverse, then you just simply use this I mean inbuilt function. If you use this MATLAB, if you can use the INV, or if you use this Python, then you need to see what type of inverse, how do you compute this inverse using Python. Okay, and you just implement it, then you will get this answer. So this is the things for how practically, until and unless you are implementing the practical. Actually, last class you have seen this on the synthetic datasets, but it will be more interesting to you if you just implement a real datasets. Okay, and Joyita will share with you these 4 images: R-band, B-band, G-band, and I-band images, and you just simply implement it. Okay, so that is the things. I already explained all these things. That's all for this today's class. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the previous question, in this question, if once we have calculated the mean and covariance, it is same as the previous assignment third question, no, sir?
Third questions means last week assignment that you are talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But here the problem is little bit different. So
here
it is not,
probabilities are given, but they both are equiprobable classes.
both are equiprobable, exactly.
Yes.
But here the thing is that you'll have to take the sample points from the image. So that is the more challenging job.
Yes, sir.
But in the previous example that you have seen, so the points was already given to you.
Yes, sir.
So I hope that you will implement it, and you'll be, interested to implement it. So please remember that the formula only needs to be implemented. Okay. So here this minus 0.5 has been taken outside, but it should be within this EXP. Yeah? You please take it in. I'll share this PPT with you so that you will have a brief look of these things. Okay, because this is the main implementation step. So I think if you just implement it, so the base decisions will probably be more clear to all of you. Okay. Okay. So I'll be sharing the PPT now. So next class I'll start with again mathematics portion like this non-parametric density estimation. Non-parametric
Hello,
density.
sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, sir, in the last step number 12, when you are setting output image of I equal to 255, sir, here in pixel combination we are having 3 like RGB 3 values. Sir, are we setting those 3 values to 255 or 0 or something else?
No. Actually, what we are going to do that we are just capital Pi into small pi. You will have some density values. Capital Pi is a probability value, and small pi it is a density value. Okay, it may be within the range of 0 to 1, or it may be above 1, some values. Now when the condition is satisfied, then this pixel location, because ultimately you need to print a 512 into 512, isn't it? Now initially you are going to set from, if you are just make a loop from I is equal to, suppose you are going to have 1 into 512 into 512. So you need to just transform it from 512 into 512. Okay? Then for each pixel location, not the intensity value, wherever it is. So now what you are going to do here, irrespective of providing the output of R, B, G, D, R, B, G, and I, you are simply giving the output of these new images, and these new images for the depends on this prior the different cases. If your case is only one case, suppose prior probability is 0.3 and prior probability is 0.7, then you'll have only one image. irrespective of this R, B, G, and I. So here, so R band, G band, I band, all the images are being used. That is for this is in training purposes. But whenever you're going to do this output, because it isn't an input, so your input is that many bands, but your output is only binary images. Here you are not going to use any pixel intensity values of R band, B band, G band, and I band. Here only intensity values that you're going to put is 255 and 0. Okay.
Hello, sir. When sir, actually in Python, if we use OpenCV and use IMRead, sir, that gives a that gives a matrix also. In there, sir, each value is having a combination of RGB. Sir, then if we are means when we are giving the output exactly what we are going to print or show, I couldn't get that.
No, means you have, so you are given with 4 different images, not RGB images. You will have separate image of R band, because you know this RGB image is actually a distribution of the 3 different colors, 3 different color channel, R band channel, B band channel, G band channel. Actually, it is just a distribution of the 3 different channel with some proportion of the color intensity values from where you can get it. But if you would like to separate it out from RGB to 3 different bands, R band, G band, B band, so you will have the different pixel intensity value. It is, and RGB is a mixture of intensity value. Okay, but whenever you're going to print it, whenever you're going to show the output, so in the output images, so you are not going to supply any intensity values, except you are not going to supply any intensity values of R band, B band, and G band, RGB value or another things. You will have only the these binary values, 0 and 255. That's it. And how do you just put it? That if the intensity, if the condition is satisfied, then output image that you will have to create another array. Okay, simply out image I is equal to 255 and out image I is equal to 0. And the size of the output image will be 512 into 512, because size must be same, otherwise you cannot print it. Okay. So have I made you clear?
Sir, actually a little bit confused also. Sir,
Sir,
exactly what this output out image of I represents? Is it a XY coordinate or what?
XY coordinate, exactly. Actually, you have I is equal to 1 to 512 into 512. Okay, because these images 512 into 512, if you just multiply, that you will have 10,000 something values will be there. Suppose, okay, let me clarify. Suppose you have this matrix dimension is 4 cross 4. Or suppose you have 4 cross 4. So how many values you will have? 16. Now, if I going to have I is equal to 1 to 16. Suppose your image size is 4 cross 4 for the time being. 4 rows and 4 columns. Okay. Now, how many values these matrix can store? 16 values. Now, if I'm going to make I is equal to 1 to 16, now you are just going to have in a row wise. Okay. Now, what you have to do? These 16 values that you will have to convert it in X and Y dimensions, because here it is presenting in a single dimension. I is equal to 1 to 512 to 512. Okay. But these things that you will have output image I is equal to 1 to 255. Now in these 16 values you will have, suppose forget about this 512 to 512, you will have only 16. So in these 16 values will be combination of the 0 and 255. Are you understanding? Suppose if you have 4 cross 4 images, means total 16 values these matrices will have. Now these 16 values or these 16 values will be combination of the 0 and 255. Or the 16 positions. Okay, 16 position. Now Now, in order to make it as an image, then you have to resize this image from 16 to 4x4. Again, you have to resizing this image from 16 to 4x4. That is the things that I am just wanted to tell you. So here only this intensity, as it is in single dimension, you are just going to have 0 and 255 values only. And but your size of the image is fixed, that is 512 into 512, means that many in that many location. If you just multiply 512 into 512, you will have one number. In that many locations, you will have the combination of the values 0 and 255. That's it. Some positions, some coordinate positions, it's that you will have 0. Some positions you will have this 255. Okay. Now, if you just want to reshape it or resizing it from 512 into 512, now what you have to do now, instead of taking this total from 512 into 5 this 16 values, you just reshape it into 4x4 image. Now rows and column will be segregated. If the rows and column is segregated, you will have only one single image. Actually, it is a part of the image processing. How row values can be converted in the combination of the column values also. So this step is missing here. Okay, that which you have identified, this step is missing here. Only here I have only shown in terms of this loop for I is equal to. So if you do not consider it, if you just want to say, suppose sir, I will do in a different way. How are you going to do it? Instead of taking I is equal to 1 to 512, you take that I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512. That is also permissible. Are you understanding me? Instead of taking simply I is equal to 1 to 512 into 512, you could have taken I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512. Then you will have output image I comma j is equal to 255, output image I comma j is equal to 0. That you can also take it. So I think the confusion is arising due to reducing the one dimension and taking it in only one row. Okay, isn't it?
Yes,
so yes, I understood your understand. So you could take, so now in step number 7, for each pixel location in the test image, you make it, you run the loop from I is equal to 1 to 512, j is equal to 1 to 512. Okay, then in the output image you will have I comma j is equal to 255. If the condition is satisfied, capital P1 small p1 is greater than is equal to capital P2 small p2, or output image I comma j is equal to 0. Actually, it is an image processing thing, so I was thinking that the image processing anyway. So you could also do it in a different way. Okay. Okay.
So where we can get this original images, RGB and band?
Joyita will supply you.
Okay. Or so we have to do it in our ML lab, right?
In the ML lab.
Okay, sir. Okay.
This is the ML lab. Okay, I'm just sharing the PPT. Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet.